Quincy Climate Action Network candidate night for 2017. Please get some free decaf or munchkins. Take a look at our handsome QCAN t-shirts and our bumper stickers. Very reasonable cost for those. My name is Reich. I'm a board member of QCAN. And in my other life, one of my other lives, I sit at home and from time to time someone calls me on the phone and asks me to write a magazine story. A couple of years ago, around the time of our first candidate night in 2015, someone called and asked me for 3,000 words on climate change and the insurance business. You may have heard the saying that there aren't any atheists in a foxhole. Well, believe me, it's like I'm for an invitation.
That's why it wasn't funny.
There aren't any climate deniers in the insurance industry. Climate change is one of their main concerns. It's right at the center of their business model. Some insurers are starting to offer incentives to people who put in solar panels or retrofit their property to make it more efficient, or drive hybrid cars or electric cars. More than any other business, probably, insurers are aware of climate change. The climate is speaking, and they're listening. Insurers have to listen when they're quickly go broke. So what's the climate saying? In that article 2 years ago, I pointed to wildfires in the West that had burned 8 million acres of forest land that summer, an area larger than Maryland, and to pine bark beetles once kept in check by cold alpine winters that had stripped bare mountainsides from Colorado up through British Columbia and the Yukon. Then there was the California drought in its 5th year and counting, and so-called 100-year floods in South Carolina that had killed 19 people, washed out bridges, closed more than 300 highways, including interstates, and caused major damage to property, with cleanup costs alone in the area of $1 billion. 2 years ago, this sounded like apocalypse, but now in 2017, it seems almost quaint. $1 billion in cleanup costs? Peanuts. Compare that to the loss of property we've seen this year in Texas, in Florida, in Puerto Rico, in the US Virgin Islands, in the California wine country of all places. On top of all the misery Americans have suffered in the last 2 months, burned out neighborhoods, flooded houses, leaking Superfund sites, lack of drinking water, electricity blackouts, loss of employment, loss of life. On top of all that, we taxpayers are on the hook for hundreds of billions for cleanup and rebuilding. And of course, you can expect to feel more pain when your house insurance bill comes in the mail. The climate is speaking, and every year the volume is getting louder. Are we listening? Clearly some are not. You only have to look as far as Washington, D.C. You can start with a big white house on Pennsylvania Avenue. In many places, though, the people have begun to listen and to act on what they're hearing. Here in Quincy, QCAN members are listening and acting. Our website, www.quincycan.org, has a long list of things we've accomplished during our first 5 years. Here's a very short list. We worked with the city to get solar panels on the roofs of city buildings. Did you know that most schools in Quincy are now making their own electricity? We also worked with the city to create the position of energy manager and hired an excellent candidate who, along with the city energy technician, is making buildings more and more efficient. We're something like 20% more efficient than we were when QCAN started about 5 years ago. We brought the state solarized program to Quincy, resulting in some 600 kilowatts of solar on the roofs of local businesses and private houses, about 165 of them all told. We have co-sponsored with the library numerous lectures and films on climate change and energy. We're working with city councilors to encourage the city to start using electric vehicles, as several other nearby towns have already started doing. We're meeting with our state representatives to get good green legislation on energy use and energy production. That's all well and good, but it's just a start. We have many miles to go before we're as green as we need to be. If you'd like to join the fight, there are many ways to do it, and we'd love to talk to you about how you can contribute. Please come by and sit in on one of our meetings. We meet second Wednesday of the month, except for December and July, at the Manat Health Center, C Street in Howes Neck. Meetings begin at 7, and we try to keep them short. And you can see our website, again, www.quincycan.org, and get more details. Or you can talk to me this evening. I'll be floating around. In addition to the activities I just finished listing, QCAN also sponsors events like this one tonight. This year, the city has been blessed with a full slate of candidates for councilor at large and 3 ward council seats. QCAN thanks them for coming to share their views, and we thank the rest of you for coming to hear them. We're going to hear them from them in 2 groups. First, at-large candidates, and then we'll be hearing for candidates for the ward council seats. They're going to be answering questions from our able moderator, Maggie McKee. In addition to taking on that role, Maggie has done most of the hard behind-the-scenes work that goes with an event like this, and she's done a terrific job, so please give her a hand, Maggie.
Hi, I'm Maggie, and I'm a recent member of QCAN in the last couple of years, and also a science writer. I mostly write about space and physics stuff, although right now I'm a stay-at-home mom. So we have a lot of stuff to get through, so I'll just bring everyone up, and we'll just dive right into questions. We have lots of stuff to cover. Okay, great. So we'll start here, and then we'll go down the line. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. We'll start with Noel DeBona with the first question, and then everyone else will answer, and then we'll come back to Margaret LaForest. So the first question is,